Hi teachers, it's Kristen Wallace. It's the end of the year, and so we're going to go through the last step for you for Bloomboard for the year. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the Bloomboard website, and I'm going to go up here. You probably are already logged in, or maybe you stayed logged in. So I'm going to go to the observation tools, and then I'm going to go to my dashboard. And my last activity for the year is going to be to complete the IPR in my annual evaluation. So if you go to your current activities, you should see this showing up. The deadline on this is May 27th, so it'll probably be right here. Otherwise, you can go click on See All Activities. It may say August or September 2015. Don't be worried by that. All the administrators added these in the fall of last year. So that is your annual evaluation for the 2015-16 school year. So I'm going to go ahead and click on my annual evaluation. And when I do, you'll notice all the different pieces here. The one that I'm most concerned about is my IPR reflection. So my individual performance reflection is where I'm going to reflect on my SLG and my PLGs for the year. Basically what you're answering are questions about what you did to implement, how it went, and what the results are. If you're unfamiliar with what you exactly wrote for your performance descriptors, your personal or your professional learning goals, you can click on that up here. And so I have my 3 PLGs right here, and then I've attached them to some specific descriptors within the teacher evaluation model. And then I also have my student learning goal here. And I can look at what my goal is. Now, because my student learning goal is dependent on something happening in May, I'm actually not going to be able to finish the section where I talk about my results and then my reflection, but I can go ahead and start on the implementation part. So if you've already completed your SLG, you can complete all of this, but the nice thing about the IPR reflection is that you can start it and then save it as you go. So I might start typing in some things right here about my implementation, and then when I get my results, I can go ahead and finish, but in the meantime, I can go ahead and save as a draft. Now this looks a little bit different from last year. Last year everything was all kind of together. This year the SLG and the PLG are fleshed out into 2 separate categories. But for the PLG it just says PLG. Now some of you may have 2 PLGs, most of you probably have 3. So in order to make this easier for my administrator and I to review, I'm actually going to write out PLG 1, 2, and 3. And then I'm going to talk about what I did, what the results were, and what I would do differently next year. Once you've completed the IPR reflection, you're done and ready for your annual evaluation, but you may also want to go into the documentation section and add some documentation that gives some support to the things that you did for your professional and your student learning goals. There's a separate video that explains how to add documentation. Remember that when you have your annual evaluation between you and your administrator, you will be asked to electronically sign off on that, so make sure that you complete that before the end of the year. So that's just a quick overview on how to complete the IPR reflection. Hopefully you're having a great end to your school year. Please contact me with any questions.